Hey, bestie, welcome back to the Social Society podcast, where I try to make content creation fun and easy so it doesn't feel like a full-time job. Because let's be real, coming up with content ideas and filming the content, editing the content, posting, captions, all the things really does start to feel like a full-time job. Because, be honest, it is a full-time job. That's why there is social media managers and all the things. So if you're like me and you like to do it yourself, you're in the right place, because I'm going to teach you all the things I know. I say all the time, knowledge is power. So let's go ahead, grab your favorite drink, grab your snack, and let's dive in. We are going to be talking about batch creating and scheduling today. Like I said earlier, creating something every single day can become daunting after a while. I tried filming and editing every single day, and after a good 3 days, I failed, because no one wants to film every single day. No one has that energy or the motivation to even get on camera. So that is why I will say batch creating is a game changer. And here are my tips when it comes to batch creating. So in my previous video, we talked about using ChatGPT to come up with content ideas and all the things. So before you sit down to batch create, you're going to go ahead and you're going to go hang out with your bestie, ChatGPT, and you're going to ask her to create a content schedule for you. I always like to start off my clients with a week worth of content, see how it feels sitting down, filming and editing a week's worth. And if you feel like you could do 2 weeks worth, build up to 2 weeks. And then if you feel like you can do a whole month's worth, do a whole month's worth. But definitely start off small. Like, you don't have to take on everything at the very beginning. Start off small and see what you like and what you don't like, because there's all different ways to create and all different things to create. So once you've gone to ChatGPT and you've got your girlfriend to create you a schedule, I'm going to go ahead and do one. Let's go ahead and say, hey, girly pop, how are you doing? I need a 2-week posting schedule for my fashion and beauty niche. I really want to hit on trending topics. I would like 6 reels, 4 in-feed posts, some engaging graphic ideas, and daily stories. Let's go ahead and hit enter, and my girl will have my book. Boom, just like that. You have your content and you're ready to go. So I would recommend doing this a day or 2 days before you sit down to actually film your content. Pick out your outfits and all the things that you need. You know what you're filming and you know what you need. So maybe you need a specific fashion piece, a specific skincare item, a specific makeup item, whatever the case may be. Make sure you get all of your products and you have that ready to go. And go ahead and pick out 3 to 4 different outfits. And pick out as many outfits as you want. Actually, I tend to go in with like 6 different outfits, so I have options. I constantly have clothes at my studio to change my outfits. An outfit change and maybe even just a claw clip to clip up your hair to have a different hair change is going to make a big difference. It's not going to look like you sat down and you filmed all of this content in one day. So have options when it comes to clothes. And honestly, most of the time you just need like your shirt. If you're like me, sometimes I'm just doing sitting videos and all I need is a top. So that's kind of nice. So once you are planned and prepped and prepared, being as prepared as possible is what is going to help you succeed in batch creating. I'm really talking to myself because I know that I can be even more prepared. There's always ways to be even more prepared, but get as prepared as you can. And once you sit down to film, you'll have future things to be like, oh, I should have done this or should have done that, should have brought this, should have brought that, whatever the case may be. Get all your tools together, your tripod, your mics, make sure they're charged, put everything on the charger the night before. Camera, iPhone, mics, all the things that need to be charged. You're going to sit down and you're going to film. Sometimes you can film 2 weeks worth of content within an hour. Sometimes it can take 2 hours, depending on what you're filming. If you're filming, YouTube videos, podcasts, those tend to take a little bit longer. But if you're filming just short, easy trending reels, you can do at least 10 within an hour. Easy, but of course it all depends on what kind of content you're creating and what kind of content you enjoy creating. This is my biggest pro tip that I would give you when it comes to batch creating. Once you have sat down and you have filmed and you have batch created all of your content, you're going to make sure. I'm a huge advocate for creating your content on your phone. I think especially social media content, I think really all you need is your phone. Of course, if you want to have that good quality and you are a photographer and a videographer already, using a camera is great. But for me, I try to advocate to all of my clients and all of future creators to just use your phone. Your phone can create so many great things. I don't know. I think I've shared this before, but I actually film this YouTube podcast on my phone because it's just easier. I have a camera, but the phone is just easier. So if it was me and I was sitting down to film a month's worth of content, whether it be reels, videos, whatever the case may be, I'm filming on my phone. Once you have filmed everything, my biggest tip is to go into your gallery, make sure you select everything you have created and put it in a very specific folder. It can be an ongoing folder that you have, or it can be a new folder. Maybe it's like all of your spring content and you just want to have a spring content folder or a fall content folder, whatever the case may be. Create that folder, because when it's time to go back and edit, it takes a lot of energy to sit down and edit. And if you have to sit down and scroll through unnecessary things, if you're like me, it's just going to make the process a lot more daunting. So if you can go ahead and create a folder and have all of your stuff organized, it is going to make your editing process just so much easier, and your future self is going to thank you so much. So create a folder and have everything there. So now when it comes down to edit, I love to just have what I call like gremlin days, where I will film all in one day where I have to look camera ready, but the next day I know that I'm not going to have to put on makeup. I get to just lay on my couch, wear my PJs, and sit down and edit. And the two apps that I love to use right now are CapCut and Canva. Those are my BFFs. Me, CapCut, Canva, and ChatGPT, like we are literally unstoppable. We can take over the world. And so I basically lay down and hang out with my girls, and we are going to open up CapCut to edit. I love CapCut. CapCut, you have access to really cool templates. So if you just want to make some really cool aesthetic B-rolls, CapCut already has the templates for you. If you want to edit a whole video, CapCut has amazing features that you didn't used to have back in the day on your mobile phone. So you're able to split, you're able to mask, you can layer things, you can make a whole YouTube video with 3 different layers within CapCut. It's amazing. I will rave about CapCut till the end of time. Although I have a feeling that Instagram edits is really going to come in and take over. So CapCut is what I use to edit. And then I also use Canva for all of my graphics. And just like CapCut, Canva has all kinds of templates. So you don't have to put too much effort into the design process. However, if you're like me, I sit down going in thinking I'm not going to put in a lot of effort, but I usually end up putting a lot of effort because I really genuinely love the design process of it. And within Canva as well, you can also edit your reels within Canva as well. I tend to use Canva a lot for my clients because they tend to want a lot of branded content. So I like to use their logos and things like that. And Canva is just the best place to do it. You can erase backgrounds on Canva. You can add really cool elements. Canva really is really cool. It does take some time, and sometimes the bigger the video on Canva, it kind of boggles down. But Canva really is just all around the best tool when it comes to creators. So not only can you do reels, you can do story graphics, you can do carousel posts. If you want to do quotes, you can create all the things within Canvas. And once you've done all of that and you have all of this content, you have it all organized within a folder too. Now you have all of your edited stuff and your graphics all in one folder. My favorite app and software to use is Metricool to schedule everything out. I love Metricool. I will rave till the end of time about Metricool. You can use it on desktop or your iPhone. I'm not crazy about the app, but you can do everything within the app. But I just prefer to do everything on my desktop, especially if I'm sitting down and I'm batch scheduling. It's just so much easier on the desktop for me personally. With Metricool, you're able to schedule out reels. You're able to schedule out posts. You can schedule out stories, which I really love. So if you're a business and you want stories going up at 7 a.m. every day, but you don't want to be posting at 7 a.m. every day, you can go ahead and have that on automation to do that. You can post on multiple different platforms within one post. So I'm going to take this one reel, but I'm going to post it on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. And I'm going to post it on Pinterest. Within one click, I can do that, which is really, really nice. I will have a full dedicated video to Metricool because that is something that will take a lot of time. We can really dive in and we can get specific on everything you can do in Metricool. But when it comes to batch scheduling my content, she really is that girl. We have a lot of queens on our team, and it's Metricool, Canva, ChatGPT, CapCut, and you. It's just a group of baddies that are going to help elevate your content game to the next level. Now, I know everything I said within 30 minutes but everything I said does take a lot of time and it does take a lot of effort. So please don't get discouraged. Keep going, keep posting. I don't care if you have 2 likes or no likes. Just keep going. You never know who's watching. You never know who you're inspiring. And it takes months, sometimes years, to become an overnight success on social media. For me, batch creating has just really helped with that because sometimes it just seemed daunting, and to be able to show up every single day just isn't realistic. Like I've said before, social media, working in social media, scrolling social media, and consuming social media all the time isn't necessarily the best for your mental health. So when you can batch create and batch schedule, it allows you to get your time back to just live real life instead of living this online presence. So this does take a lot of time and effort for a few days. I will do this in days. So I will plan for one day, I will film for one day, and I will edit and schedule the next day. It just saves up a lot of time. So although it does take a lot of time, it also buys back so much time, especially if you're a business. I understand wanting your business to succeed, but to be able to step back and let it do its thing while you are working at your business or doing whatever you need to do with your clients, with your customers, whatever the case may be, the last thing you want to do is worry about running and posting a post. So Metricool is your best friend. If you have a social media manager on your team, I would recommend using Metricool. And if you're doing it something yourself, I would always recommend Metricool. Like I said, there's so many different platforms you can post on, and there's so many metrics and stuff you can measure, which we will get into that in the next video. I really want to dive deep into Metricool. So I hope this video helped relieve some of your content stress. I hope it gave you some ideas and maybe inspired you to go ahead and create that week's worth of content. Comment down below if you have any other tips and tricks, or maybe you have a favorite editing app or whatever the case may be that you use in your content creation journey. Please keep the conversation going down below. I would love to help each other out. I will see you on the next one. I love y'all. Go create something amazing. Bye.